In this Pachacha, I wanted to help save lives. I'm going to quickly go over 10 of the most poisonous plants in the world. One thing I noticed was that I'm happy to be an online student because several of the poisonous plants I found doing my research were common in Florida. That combined with the bugs and the alligators, I'm happy to be in Washington State. First up is the oleander. Originally native to Asia, the Jericho rose or oleander is now common throughout the Mediterranean regions. If you eat enough of these bad boys, you'll quickly have a combination of cardiac and gastrointestinal symptoms, including bloody, diarrhea, vomiting, drooling, and irregular heartbeat. The whole oleander plant is poisonous right down to the nectar. It is said that even the smoke from the burning plant is toxic, and there are reports of serious poisonings resulting from using the twigs as cooking skewers. What constitutes a lethal dose seems uncertain, but I've read as little as one leaf. Next up is the white snake root. One cool thing about this plant is in addition to being poisonous, it can also be an aid if you're the victim of a certain kind of snake bite, which is where the name snake root actually comes from. It is believed that the white snake root is responsible for the death of American President Abraham Lincoln's mother. She died from what was termed as milk sickness, which occurred as a result of drinking milk that was tainted with toxins from plants eaten by cows. In the 19th century, thousands of European settlers died in Midwestern America due to this affliction. Next up is the manachil, or the little apples of death. This is a plant to steer well clear of. Found in coastal regions of Florida, South and Central America, the manachil is possibly the world's most poisonous tree. Whilst the fruit is said to be potentially lethal if eaten, it is the tree itself that poses the greatest threat. Every part is stuffed full of powerful toxins, most notably the sap, which contains porobol, a strong skin irritant. Contact with the sap provokes strong allergic dermatitis, resulting in blistering of the skin. This is a particular hazard during rain, where people take shelter under the tree's leaves. Next up is the deadly nightshade. Both the foliage and the berries of this plant are extremely toxic. Deadly nightshade has a long, colorful history as a use of poison, but many people don't realize that it's from common food plants including potatoes, eggplants, and chili peppers. Next up, we have the lily of the valley. Lily of the valley can be found throughout northern Europe and America, where it is common in woodland. Despite its pretty appearance, its deadly poisons contain 38 different cardiac glycosides. Toxicity is the plant's defense against animals eating its seeds. Next up is the suicide tree. With a name like that, it's little surprise that this tree is probably responsible for more deaths than any other plant. In the Indian state Kerala alone, it is thought to be responsible for around 50 deaths per year. Despite being called the suicide tree, the toxins work equally well for murder, and the flavor is easily hidden in a bowl of spicy food. The seed inside the fruit is poisonous and it works by disrupting the heart's rhythm, often with fatal results. Next up, number 4 is the hemlock. In ancient Greece, it was used as a form of execution, most notably on the philosopher Socrates around 400 BC. The poison works in a slightly strange way as it kind of works from the edges of your body and makes its way inward. It starts with a numbness of the extremities and slowly spreads inward, culminating in paralysis of the lungs and death. Cases of hemlock poisoning still occur, usually with people mistaking the plant for something edible such as a salad ingredient, and the water hemlock is known as the most deadly plant in North America. Number 3 is the aconite. Aconite goes by many names, some of which refer to the shape of the flower, like a monk's hood or the devil's helmet. Others refer to traditional uses such as wolfbane, which comes from its use of ancient Greek shepherds who would dip their arrows in aconite to kill the wolves. Probably pretty clear with this many names that this plant must have done some serious damage in the past. It is also known as the queen of poisons and is very possibly the most poisonous plant in Europe. They grow around 6 feet tall and all parts of the plant contain the deadly aconite. Just touching the plant can cause severe symptoms. Number 2 is the castor bean. The castor bean is generally known for producing castor oil, which is a vegetable oil widely used in food production. The seeds are also a source of the most powerful plant toxin on Earth. I'm sorry, one of the most powerful plant toxins on Earth, ricin. It is more potent than cyanide and the strongest snake venom. Fortunately, this is only if the toxin is injected or inhaled. If it is eaten, it is still dangerous, but about 1,000 times less deadly. And the number one is the rosary pea. The rosary pea contains a toxin called abrin, and since it's nearly 100 times more deadly than ricin and yields similar effects, there is little doubt that this is the most deadly plant poison known to man. Surprisingly, this is a common plant throughout the tropics and is regarded as an invasive pest species in many places, most notably in Florida. Although it is known that the rosary pea contains some of the most deadly poisons on Earth, it does not show that statistically. If the bean is eaten whole, it can pass through the body and be protected by its tough coating, and it seems that could be possible for it not causing many deaths because it absorbs so slowly into the skin. Thank you so much for watching.